Am I the asshole for not wanting strangers in the background of my wedding pics? I, 24 female. Recently had my wedding on the beach of a beautiful hotel in Cancun. Many of my friends and family could go, so I was very happy. The only problem was during our ceremony, there were people on the sea playing or doing jet ski activities. It really bothered me because they would appear in the background, so I told my wedding planner about it. She was very understanding and said she would fix it. When she talked to the owners of the activities and to the people in that area of the sea, we expected them to be kind and nice, but they just declined and continued. I even took the time to go myself and ask them to stop, but they didn't care. I was about to go and tell someone from the hotel, but my now husband stopped me and said it would be a nasshole thing to do. I told him standing up for myself wasn't a nasshole thing to do and went looking for hotel staff, but they said there was nothing they could do. When I returned, my husband was moody, and I wonder if it really was a nasshole thing to do. Am I the asshole? Ha 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 ha. You are the asshole. An entire ocean and beach must be closed because you are getting married, lol. Did you offer to compensate those who would need to close their seasonal businesses after 2 very hard years? You apparently haven't heard of photo editing. How dare people go out in public on your special day? You're the bride. Poor you. And now nasty people on Reddit will say you are the asshole. Your husband also isn't appreciating how special you are. You should divorce him immediately. Info. Did you rent out the entire sea? You are the asshole. Get married in a public place, be prepared to deal with the public. I rented jet skis in Mexico once. We had an hour and were limited to a very specific area between 2 buoys. I'd have kept going too because I paid for that hour and it wasn't cheap. So you went to tell some random hotel staff to go tell strangers that they were not allowed to use a public beach? Please explain your reasoning here. In what world would you think even the hotel owner, let alone some random staff, had any authority whatsoever to remove people from a public beach? Or was this a case of, some strangers existing at the beach bothered me, so now you have to refund me? You are the asshole. You can either use Photoshop to take them out, or there's this new app called Pixelcut that does that very well also. But get married on a public beach, others are gonna be around. Am I the asshole for lashing out at my husband in front on everyone for calling my son a nickname? I'll preface this by saying that I, 34, lost my late husband years ago to cancer. I have a 6-year-old son named Joseph. I met my now husband, Tim, 37, 2 years ago and got married recently. Tim loves Joseph, considers him as his own, and he has shown that many times. We don't normally have any issues except for this. Tim started a habit of calling my son a nickname, Joey. My problem with this nickname is that it was used by my late husband for Joseph and it is kind of special to him. I asked Tim to not use this particular nickname and he at first fought me off about it, then came around and stopped doing it. Days ago, I hosted dinner with my late husband's family, they visit regularly. We sat down for dinner and suddenly, Tim out loud said, "Hey Joey. Could you pass me this plate please?" The whole room went quiet. I got all sorts of dirty looks from my late husband's family because they know this nickname was exclusively used by him. I looked at Tim and then lashed out at him loudly and in front of everyone, telling him that what he did was not okay and was a major overstep. He seemed shocked and said that he really wasn't paying attention and it was a slip-up. I responded that I already warned him about it a million times yet chose to ignore it. He was red in the face. He got up, excused himself to the bathroom and stayed there. After the guests left, he started arguing that I embarrassed him, hurt his feelings and went too far for scolding him publicly over a slip-up. I said that I already told him about how me and my late husband's family feel about this, but he said that we should get over ourselves, especially since Joseph clearly doesn't care. We argued some more, then he and I stopped talking to each other. Info. How does your son feel about it? If your son actually doesn't care, then it's not up to you to gatekeep the use of this nickname. You are the asshole, it's a nickname. It's super common for Joseph. It's kind of ridiculous to say no one else is ever allowed to call him a super common nickname. You are the asshole. If your son is okay with it, then it's no one else's place to have an issue with it, that's including you. I get you and your departed husband's family want to hold onto his memory for your son, but realistically your husband is the only father he's really going to know, and by you letting your dead husband's family insert their wishes like this, the only person you are hurting is your son. You are the asshole. You were the one who brought attention to Joey nickname by blasting him at a family meal. Joey is not a patented or exclusive name. Yes, it is special to you. Your son is very young and you have found someone who adores your child, isn't that enough? What you are doing is making your new husband hyper-aware of anything he utters is going to upset you, set you off, claim a memory as sacred, and perhaps push him away. Now that would hurt your son Joseph, cause a bond has been formed. You are the asshole. You've not mentioned if this is an issue for your son or not once. Seems to be about you and your dead husband's family gatekeeping, a very common nickname. You are the asshole. You married this man and brought him into your son's life. Him using that nickname isn't a betrayal of his late father. In the kindest way possible, this is a you problem and you should figure out why you feel so guilty about your son being happy. Am I the asshole for having our daughter cook dinner once a week? I, 35M, have a daughter, Rebecca, 15F, and I have to admit both my wife and I worked a ton. So we have money, and since we were both busy with work we hired a maid and cook to come by twice a week. Well, a while ago both of us realized Rebecca doesn't know how to do much. So we changed what Sarah, maid, cleans. No more cleaning Rebecca's room or laundry. Rebecca was not happy about this, but she needed to learn how to clean up after herself before she went to college. Both of us then realized that Rebecca cannot cook at all either. She only knows how to make sandwiches and heat food up. We really dropped the ball on this, so we decided to have her cook dinner once a week. It started 2 weeks ago and so far all Rebecca made was spaghetti and tacos. They are not difficult meals, so yesterday I gave Rebecca a recipe to follow, chicken parmesan. She was in the kitchen for 3 hours making it. I have to admit it wasn't the best and I commented that. Rebecca got really quiet and said, well, maybe if you actually taught me crap instead of throwing me to the wolves each time I could do stuff. She picked up her plate and threw the food away. I then grounded her and she went to her room. I called my sister and she laughed and said I don't even know how to cook either and that I am ass for always throwing my kid's head first. You are the asshole. Not for making your kid cook. For shaming her for it when you did, indeed, throw her to the wolves. And then grounding her when she acted out. Edited a typo. Yes, you are the asshole. You should be cooking with her and teaching her. Also, laughing and insulting someone doing something new is pathetic. I didn't teach my child basic life skills and now I'm mad that she doesn't know basic life skills. Am I the asshole for literally not preparing my child for adulthood and getting mad at my child for my mistake? That's how the fuck you sound. You are the asshole for not teaching her any cooking skills and then being surprised that her food wasn't the best. Commenting on the quality of the food when she clearly put a ton of effort into the meal, 3 hours in the kitchen. Grounding her when she was clearly, and validly, upset that you criticized the meal she worked so hard on. Instead of punching down on your child, why don't you encourage her by saying how grateful you are that she cooked, cooking with her, going with her to cooking classes. Oh, and unground her, and apologize for your rude behavior, abusing your parental authority. ETA. Did I read correctly that you don't even know how to cook? And you're essentially making fun of your 15Y. Oh, for doing something you yourself can't do? Extra, you are the asshole. You are the asshole. I am all on board about having her cook. However, you do not get a say in what she cooks, nor was it appropriate for you to say how bad the meal turned out. You might wish to consider taking her advice and working alongside her. P.S. Grounding her here was over the top. You are the asshole. Either cook with her or hire someone to teach her. If you are unwilling to do anything to help her learn, you don't get to criticize her efforts. Since you can't cook, either, maybe you should find someone who can teach both of you the basic techniques and then make it a weekly routine to try a new recipe together. Oh, and while you're trying to rectify your parenting failures, does she know how to shop for groceries? How to figure out how much of what to buy? How to select produce? How to budget? Am I the asshole for keeping my plans when my boyfriend unexpectedly had to have his kid this weekend? So, backstory. My dad died on July 4th. This year is the 10-year anniversary. For weeks now I have had a tubing trip, visit with my sister and a night spent with friends who are my family. I can explain more about that if needed. Up at a campground, literally 20 miles from home, planned for Saturday and Sunday. Monday and Tuesday I was going to spend at home with my boyfriend. Let's call him T, and we were going to have a fire and enjoy the holiday and go visit my dad. I told T this. I explained my plans in detail many times over the last few weeks, and he said it was fine. Cue to this actual weekend, he unexpectedly has to keep his 10-year-old son, let's call him K, for the weekend. I went out last night as planned, and this morning T called and asked if I wanted to go to the beach with him and K. I said no, because I had plans to meet with my sister and nephew, and go up to the camp. Cue the freaking out. I got broken up with, told that I was an asshole for not spending time with him, and that I always run away when he has his kid. Told to not come home, and if I want to go out and be youthful, get the fuck out. I'm so confused and significant other heartbroken that if all the weekends, he chooses this one to do this to me. I am trying to understand where he's coming from, but I'm really struggling. I had these plans made almost a month in advance and he was totally fine with it until it came to actually doing them. Please guys, am I the asshole here? Edit. Forgot to mention. Yes, I am keeping my plans and still going to see my sister and spend time at camp. Edit again to mention that we've been together 6 years too lol. And I take the kid often when I have days off and my boyfriend is working. Not the asshole. He wants you to do the heavy lifting with his kid, so he is pissed you are not there to do it. I am sorry, but you did have plans and this child is not yours. Also, who wants to bet he wants to make up as soon as the trip is over? This may be a ploy to ruin your weekend. Not the asshole and be glad this happened. You dodged a bullet. I'm sorry it is making you sad right now, and I know this is a tough weekend, but trust and believe that 5 years later you is going to look at this weekend as your personal Independence Day and be so relieved. Not the asshole. Seriously, get away from this man. If he broke up with you over this, don't try to get him back. This is the start of a long line of manipulation, guilt-tripping, and just general controlling and isolating behavior. His lack of understanding for you is really concerning, and if he blows up that fast over something like this, I can't imagine how much worse he'll be in the future. He's not worth your time and energy. Go have fun with your family. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend is, though. He's done you a favor, in my opinion. Not the asshole. He threw a hussy fit because you had existing plans and weren't immediately available to play happy family with him and his kid. Great. It should be easy to move on from him quickly. Not the asshole. You have plans, on a very important anniversary weekend, and if he wants to literally throw you out of the house for keeping those plans, then I guess you dodged a huge bullet. Grief is complex and family matters, so he needs to recognize that a blended family is going to have layers of complexity, including that you can't always jump and break plans for his unexpected new plans too. Even if it's his kid, which is important.